1976. Ein neuer automobiler Lebensstil wird geboren.
Ich habe diese Ikon gesehen und ich konnte kaum glauben, was ist das denn? Ne?
3 Buchstaben. Jung, rebellisch, wild.
Überragend zu seiner Zeit, wie sportlich und dynamisch, wie kraftvoll wieder losgemarschiert ist.
Automobil gewordene Lebensfreude.
Das Auto ist Hammer.
Klar, pur.
Konzentriert auf sportliches Fahren.
Unverwechselbar. 3 Buchstaben machen aus Funktionalität und Vernunft echte Leidenschaft.
Das sind die 3 coolsten, geilsten, emotionalsten Buchstaben der Automobilwelt.
Ein Mythos, der sich immer wieder neu erfindet.
Jetzt mit dem Polo haben wir etwas deutlich maskuliner gemacht, weil der GTI auch maskuliner sein muss. Und das Auto in sich ist schon deutlich besser geworden. Ja? Das Ding ist echt ein Biest.
Emotionalsten Buchstaben der Automobilwelt. GTI von Volkswagen.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, bitte begrüßen Sie Jürgen Stackmann, Mitglied des Markenvorstands Volkswagen, Vertrieb und Marketing.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Volkswagen. Welcome to the press conference of the Volkswagen brand. We've brought so many things, we've got so many things to show you. The Volkswagen has expanded its GTI lineup with the Polo GTI to my right and the new Up GTI to my left. They're younger, cheekier, and they're putting even more energy on the road. Then there's the original Golf GTI, and of course he's the founder, the pivot of the GTE cult, and of course it's going to stay at the center going forward. GTE is now available in 3 different classes, and today we have a world premiere, the new Polo GTI, which is now also based on the latest technical platform, the Modular Transverse Toolkit, or MQB for short. It features the latest driver assist systems such as front assist, adaptive cruise control, and a blind spot sensor, so it's very safe to drive. Furthermore, the Polo GTI can be specified with the innovative active info display and an inductive charging function for your mobile devices. And the optional LED headlights with a red stripe are the perfect fit to the Polo GTI, emphasizing its character. But what's more important is that it's got 200 horsepower, the suspension has been lowered by 15 millimeters, and so it's clearly the new #1 in terms of sportiness in the Polo segment. Believe me, it's great fun to drive. I drove it last week at our proving grounds in Era with my colleague Frank Welsh. It was really exciting, really great fun to drive. Later this year, you can test it for yourself. Small, sporty, punchy, the all-new Up GTI, with its low weight of less than a ton and 115 horsepower and short dimensions, is reminiscent of the GTI. It's really pure driving pleasure. Add in its sporty suspension and you have guaranteed driving pleasure. It handles like a GTI. It looks the part too, with styling cues such as red stripes and tartan trimmed seats. The most powerful Up of all time hits dealerships in early 2018, and with prices starting at €16,975, it's the most affordable way to enjoy that GTI feeling by Volkswagen. And given this great GTI lineup, there should be something for everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Volkswagen GTI family. Thank you.
Soll ein SUV sein. Eine Maschine, mit der ich den Menschen Freiheit gebe, zu entscheiden, wohin sie gehen möchten.
Volkswagen bietet für jeden Kunden das passende SUV, von den kleinen bis zu den ganz großen.
Wir haben den Touareg, wir haben den Tiguan, wir haben jetzt den Tiguan Allspace, den Atlas in Amerika. Jetzt kriegen wir den T-Roc.
Sehr individuell, also extrem eigenständiges Konzept.
ist eine Mixtur von Emotion und Funktionalität.
Ein Auto, was den Lifestyle sehr gut widerspiegelt.
Kann man für die Stadt nutzen, für den Jungle nutzen.
Ein echter Crossover.
Ganz dynamisch, ganz elegant auch, hat sehr viel Keil, sehr viel Performance, sehr viel Skulptur.
Ja, die frechste Antwort, die man geben kann auf die Frage, wie soll ein moderner SUV der Zukunft aussehen.
Der perfekte Crossover für den individuellen Lebensstil. Der neue T-Roc von Volkswagen.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, bitte begrüßen Sie Dr. Frank Welsch, Mitglied des Markenvorstands Volkswagen Entwicklung.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren.
Ladies and gentlemen, moving from those beautiful GTIs to our next highlight, the T-Roc. I'm convinced that the T-Roc has got what it takes to become an icon one of these days, just like the GTIs. Why is that so? Well, actually it's very simple. The T-Roc is a crossover and it combines the best of both worlds. It's got the refinement of a modern SUV, the SUVs that we know and love. And on the other hand, it's got the agility of a sporty hatchback, short, compact, etc. Furthermore, and you can see that much better than I from this perspective, it looks great. And it's the perfect car for the urban world. It's compact with lots of space, cabin space and cargo space. It's efficient, it's connected with lots of ways to personalize it. When you drive the T-Roc for the first time, you will feel that its suspension setup was designed by the developers of the GTI. It's great fun to drive and practical to boot. And I think you can see the sheer dynamics, no matter from what perspective you look at the T-Roc. And this is particularly true, I think, for the R-Line version on this side right next to me. Now, the design and the concept of this car are path-breaking, but what's under the bonnet, what's inside that car is just as important. What did we put into this car? What's part of the MQB? Let me just mention a few examples. Turbocharged engines, state-of-the-art turbocharged engines, our latest TSI with cylinder deactivation. And these engines strike a balance between dynamics and efficiency. And these are very important values for any SUV. Then there's a wide range of assistance systems on the T-Roc, raising comfort and safety to the next level. And the T-Roc is the perfect car for the digital age. It's one of the first car in its class with a digital instrument cluster, what we call the active info display. I don't think I'll have to tell you that it's fully connected too. And if you combine all these properties, I think the T-Roc has got what it takes to be a bestseller. It's an important pillar of our major SUV campaign. Just to remind you, it began last year in 2016 with the debut of the new Tiguan. In the next higher class, just a couple of months ago, we saw the launch of the Atlas in the US and the Terramont in China. That's the sister model of the Atlas. And even as we speak, the Tiguan Allspace is hitting the road in the United States and in Europe, and the Allspace is an extended version of the Tiguan with up to 7 seats in 3 rows and lots of cargo space. And ladies and gentlemen, you might wonder, whatever happened to the T-Prime show car? It used to be the precursor of our flagship, the Touareg, and we're looking, in fact, forward to the world premiere of the all-new Touareg in a couple of months from now. But we're not going to stop there. we're extending the SUV range, and not just at the top. In 2018, we're going to launch the T-Crozz, which is going to expand the SUV range at the lower end of the range, below the T-Roc. Plus, there will be other regional and specific models and other derivatives, and I think I can summarize, without exaggerating, that by 2018 we're going to be and have one of the most diverse and advanced SUVs lined up out there in the market. Ladies and gentlemen, actually we could sit back and relax and say, great, we did it. But don't worry, we're not going to rest on our laurels. We're going to step on the gas, because in 2020 there'll be a fully electric ID family. This includes the ID and the ID Buzz, and also an electric SUV, and that's going to be called ID Crozz. And Herbert Diess has an outlook for you on this family and on the ID Crozz. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Herbert Diess. Thank you.
Menschen waren immer der wichtigste Teil von dem, was wir heute sind. Ihre Wünsche, ihre Bedürfnisse, ihre Sehnsucht. Wir haben ihre Welt bewegt, sie vorwärts gebracht, Menschen verbunden, Generationen begleitet, Generationen erschaffen, haben erkannt, dass der wirkliche Wert eines Autos Freiheit ist.
Was der Käfer einst angelegt hat und der Golf dann in eine neue Ära geschrieben hat, wird der ID als nächstes machen.
Die ID-Familie ist in jedem Fall ein Versprechen auf Freiheit. Digital, voll vernetzt, extrem modern, einzigartiges Design. Eine Kombination von Eigenschaften, die es so in dieser Form heute nicht gibt.
Vieles wird sich verändern, doch nicht alles. Das Auto der Zukunft wird wieder ein Volkswagen sein.
Der ID Crozz ist der Aufbruch in eine neue Form der Mobilität.
Ist ein Fahrzeug, das beweist, SUV und Elektromobilität passen perfekt zusammen.
Volkswagen wird die Zukunft in Serie bringen.
Die Zukunft des SUV, der neue ID Crozz von Volkswagen.
Der neue ID Crozz bietet die Souveränität
and versatility of an SUV, with room for any hobby and all-wheel drive for all the challenges of an individual life. Batteries in the floor and motors on the axles make way for a whole new level of interior space, flexible and comfortable. You can take the wheel yourself and enjoy the dynamic performance, or you can sit back safe and relaxed and let the ID Crozz drive itself fully automatically. The glass roof with its innovative LED shade augments the unique feeling of spaciousness and is gesture controlled. The ID Crozz 2's clean air concept generates fresh air, regardless of the surroundings, and brings a mountain climate into the car. The two electric motors with 225 kilowatts guarantee outstanding performance over a distance of 500 kilometers. ID Crozz 2 is your very own Internet of Things, fully connected and interactive. The Volkswagen ID makes it your very own individual automobile. ID Crozz 2, a fascinating concept for the mobility of the future.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, bitte begrüßen Sie Dr. Herbert Diess, Vorsitzender des Markenvorstands Volkswagen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ID Trio, 3 times an innovative electric architecture, 3 times the Volkswagen of the future. These 3 cars are part of the starting lineup that will kick off Volkswagen's electric campaign at short intervals starting in 2020. The ID, the compact all-electric Volkswagen for the Golf class. The new ID Crozz, the modern SUV for the streets and roads of this world, and the ID Buzz, the future's idea of the legendary Volkswagen Transporter. And there are more cars in the pipeline for Europe, for the American markets, and above all for China. All ID models will be based on Volkswagen's newly engineered electric architecture. This includes electric motors with different power outputs and a flat battery that forms the underbody of our electric cars going forward, much like a bar of chocolate, a power bar, if you like, that increases the range up to 600 kilometers or approximately 370 miles. Our engineers took full advantage of this construction. Thanks to the flat underbody, both the exterior and the interior can be designed very flexibly. From compact cars to buses, anything is possible. The ID lineup will be controlled by Volkswagen OS, our new operating system. VW OS allows for fast software updates and vehicle upgrades that will make the car better and better across its entire life cycle, much like your smartphone. At any time, the car and the driver will have access to cloud offerings such as charging or parking. In other words, the car becomes a moving internet hub. On that basis, we're going to develop models that will usher in a new era for Volkswagen in design too. Today, we'd like to give you an outlook for the SUV of the future with the revised ID Crozz. It's powerful, modern, unmistakable. 2 electric motors deliver over 300 horsepower, and thanks to all-wheel drive, it's off-road capable too. The Crozz goes to show that electric cars can be highly emotional. Starting in 2020, it will go into series production in Europe. The goal of our offensive is to set a standard, a new standard for e-mobility in the volume market, with cars that are reliable, practical and fun, and cars that people can actually afford. The ID will be priced approximately in line with a similar spec Golf diesel. One thing is clear for us: the Golf of the future must once more be a Volkswagen. And we are happy to take on this task because thanks to its new technology, this car's chances of success are better than ever. Private vehicle traffic is getting cleaner and cleaner. And if it's powered by electricity made from renewables, it'll even produce 0 emissions going forward. Thanks to powerful assistance systems, the number of accidents is going to decrease considerably. And thanks to increasing automation, in a few years from now, cars can be driven by people who today would be either too old or too young. At Volkswagen, we want to shape the future of cars. For 70 years, we've made a contribution to individual mobility around the world. Our job is to make modern technology available to many people. That's why we're going to offer 23 all-electric cars worldwide by 2025. And to achieve that goal, we're going to invest 6 billion euros in electromobility over the next 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the Volkswagen offensive has long since begun. Jürgen Stackmann and Frank Welsh have just told you about it. In the first phase of our strategy, we're going to revise our entire model lineup by 2020, and we'll expand it in important segments. That's what we're showing you at this year's Frankfurt Motor Show. The GTI family and our SUVs go to show that Volkswagen is becoming younger, sportier and more versatile. In fact, customers confirm that we're on the right track, with deliveries rising by just under 2% between January and August. In the US, we grew by more than 6%, in South America even by 18%. And there's growing momentum. In August, we grew by more than 9% worldwide. That makes us confident for the rest of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, as we say, we move people forward. Mobility fulfills our wish for freedom. And the best way to fulfill that wish is to drive a car, ideally a Volkswagen. Thank you.
Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, vielen Dank für Ihre Teilnahme an der Volkswagen Pressekonferenz. Sie haben nun die Möglichkeit, Fotos der neuen Modelle zu machen.